Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. It's Mari, and I have a 12 by 12 scrapbooking process to share with you today where I'm going to be scraplifting this layout by Meyer. And this is for Christine's series called Stealing Saturday. And so I'm going to be collaborating with her for her series today. And you can see that I used the color inspiration here for my layout today from Bailey's little t-shirt that she's wearing there that has some pink in it. And so I'm going to be using the Crepe Paper Good Vibes collection. And you can see that I have those 3 horizontal strip photos going across my layout that is definitely inspired by Christine's layout as well, where she had those 3 photos of that cute little puppy. And so these photos are of Bailey's birthday this past weekend. And so I'm going to be scrapping these photos of her and Brady. And I think I printed these out. I think they're about 3 by 2. And then you can see that I've just, obviously I've got them in that series from left to right. And I actually stuck these photos in Lightroom and put a little bit of, I did a little bit of photo editing on them. So what I'm going to be doing here is just going through the papers from the Crepe Paper Good Vibes collection, and I'm just going to be picking out the pattern papers that I'm going to be using for my project. I didn't want all of the papers obviously to be super busy, so I wanted to kind of try to pick some that had kind of like a neutral pattern, so that pink matches the colors in the layout really nicely. So I'm going to use that for sure. And then that craft with the dot, I'm going to use behind the pink. And then I needed 2 other pattern papers since Christine had 2 other smaller mats on top of the larger piece, which would be like my pink piece. So this teal piece with the pink geometric stripe in it, I think works nicely. And I just like the color combination there, and it brings out the teal. And I'm going to use a few teal embellishments on my layout as well. And so I'm going to just trim this one down so that it kind of looks like it's roughly the same shape and size as what was on Christine's layout. And then I'm going to just kind of look for another pattern paper that I think will complement the other colors. So first of all, I'm just going to size down my pink paper. I'm going to trim that up, and then I'm going to find another paper that I like that's going to go along with this as well. So I'll just get that into my trimmer here, into my Fiskars trimmer, and trim this up and get that all ready to layer on top of here. So yeah, things are coming right along. I can't say that I necessarily gravitate to using patterned paper as much as what is on this layout. One of the things that I noticed when I was choosing a layout of Christine's to Scraplift was that she is the master of using pattern paper. She just does that so well with her layouts. And I would say that that's not necessarily my strength in scrapbooking. I do gravitate more to using a white slate or just a white piece of cardstock to start with. And oftentimes I will use mixed media. And so this, I was definitely really working outside of my comfort zone a little bit. And but that's a good thing. And I do love working with pattern paper, don't get me wrong. I use patterned paper on virtually all of my layouts, but to solely use pattern paper, to me it's actually really super challenging. And but I had a lot of fun with this. And what I think helps me when I am using pattern paper is to have a layout that's inspirational, right? So that's where scraplifting is perfect, when you are trying something that's just a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So I love this layout of hers. I love the colors that she uses in the original layout, and how she used the banners in the 2 different cluster areas and so on. So I didn't have the banners to use, but you'll see how I change mine up a little bit to kind of try to simulate what she did with hers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to give my 3 photos a little bit of dimension by popping them up onto some craft foam. So I'm just going to take that foam and size it down a little bit, take the release paper off of the back, and then take some liquid adhesive and stick those down on my layout. So just kind of being mindful of where I want those to go, and I will get those stuck down. Before I do that though, I wanted to just take my distressing tool and distress the edges of the pattern paper, just because I felt like the patterned paper, I just wanted it to have a little bit more texture. And so this is a really super way of achieving that, is just to take, even just take the edge of your scissor if you don't have a distressing tool, and just, you know, distress your edges of your paper in that way. And it just gives it a little bit of lift and dimension. And what I'm going to do here also is I'm going to take a gel pen, and I'm just going to put some kind of sketchy lines on a few pieces of on the pink and the yellow anyways, just to kind of add a little bit more definition and frame in those pattern papers a little bit more. So I'll just finish that up. This is just a black gel pen from my drawer in my craft room. It's nothing special. It's just a black pen. And now I'm going to just take that liquid adhesive and stick those down, I believe is the next step here. Yes. So I'm going to put the liquid adhesive on there, and then I'm going to put a paperweight on there just so that it's actually adheres down well before I go on to the next thing. So trying my best to keep those straight and make sure that there's about the same amount of space between the photographs, and getting them straight at the bottom. And then I'll be ready to continue on with embellishing the layout. So you can see that the leftmost picture, once all the stuff's taken off of it, Brady is putting the candles in Bailey's ice cream cake. And then he's just proceeding to finish putting the candles in through the series of pictures. And Bailey really likes llamas. It's actually kind of funny, but she does. And her brother had given her this really cute llama card for her birthday. So there's a llama in this Good Vibes collection that I'm using. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this on this layout because I think that it actually kind of fits. So what I'm going to spell out here with the alphas from this collection is llama birthday. And then I'm going to put that little chipboard llama in the bottom right corner, and that's going to be a cluster area. So Christine, I think she had a banner down in that area, and then she also had some title work down in that bottom area as well. So I moved my title area up a little bit, but then she also has a cluster up above and to the right, and then also up above and to the left. So my challenge was to try to figure out how I was going to create some clusters in those areas with this collection that I chose to work with. So we went into my stash and I picked out that little tab that's got the phrase on it. I think it says "Remember This." And then I also picked out a tag from Pink Fresh. I've got a little Chamel wooden button up there, and then that little stamp sticker is actually from the Good Vibe sticker sheet. And then there's that little sentiment piece that I put in at the bottom, and that says, and I'm just looking at the layout here, "You are my favorite." And I thought I might like to use that rubber llama up at the top, but I mean, that looks ridiculous. And so I didn't end up using that, but it's sure cute, and I'm gonna have to use that on another layout for Bailey. So I'm just going to take that off of there, and I decide to use some floral pieces from Good Vibes up there as well. They're almost kind of like the florals that you might see growing on a cactus or something. They're really pretty. They're really nice, and they go along with the colors nicely. That top pink floral piece is from the chipboard sheet, and then the one underneath it's from the sticker sheet. And then I'm going to go in with a variety of other chipboard flowers and sticker flowers and add those in the little cluster areas as well. Now I decided that I wanted to size down my craft paper, so I'm going to size that down. And I'm actually going to go in with that purple polka dot paper from the collection and adhere the whole layout onto that so that it's got that dark kind of purple matte around the outside edge. And I like how that looks. I thought I might like to use that bird, but I don't end up doing it. I just didn't think that it was needed. And so you can see that I'm going to add this purple border around here, and then I end up just using a couple of other little darker purple pieces for the little embellishments. Now I've printed my journaling strips here just in Microsoft Word. I used 11-point font, and the font that I used is called Special Elite, and it actually kind of looks like an old typewriter type. And so I'm going to just stick those down using my fine line bottle. And there you can see I just added the number 24 to the top because it's Bailey's 24th birthday. And that's going to be about it for my layout. So I'm going to show you another still shot here of Christine's layout. So you can see just the basic design elements that I have used here on my Scraplift, and I really like how this turned out, and it was a lot of fun. So I just want to tell Christine again, thank you for inviting me to join her today for her YouTube series, and stick around. There's going to be some still shots of the layout, and if you check in the description box below, there'll be a link to Christine's channel, so make sure you hop over there and see which of my layouts she chose to Scraplift and see how that went for her. So thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you here on my channel another time. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.